Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Coast to Coast Sports, brought to you by PickCity.com. I am your host, Adam Danis from Go Get 'em Sports. My buddy Scojo will be joining us in a minute here. Today we're going to break down yesterday's recap, Saturday's recap. Great Saturday for both Scojo and I, up around 11 units in a day in VIP. We've got 10 more games for you today, 5 from me, 5 from him. And, of course, we're going to drop our pick of the days at the end of the show with 3 parlays in today's slate as well. All right, Scojo, let's hop right into it. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, what's up, man? It was a good Saturday. It could have been better. A couple of hook in the St. Louis game, man. The St. Louis game was tough. Up 12 with about 8 to go. That dog money line parlay was looking really good, but they just couldn't hold on and then couldn't make free throws to cover the over. That was a 5-unit play for my clients yesterday. Just could not, miss 14 missed free throws in that game. Lands on 144, so that was a bummer. But never a bad day when you're positive. So looking for another good day.
All right, we're gonna hop right into the recap here. Obviously Iowa, both huge plays for us yesterday. Iowa opened at 4.5 and all the way up to 6.5, and then dropped again down to 4.5 yesterday for tip. First half started a little slow for Iowa. They led by I think 8 at half, and then that second half they just took over the game.
Yeah, they started to pull away a little bit at that first. Yeah, but the second half they just gassed down and blew Utah State out. That was my favorite play yesterday. That was the play of the day on this show, and covered easy. So that was a good win.
Yeah, awesome. All right, next, obviously one of my plays today. I keep rolling with this Davidson team. They keep covering late in games, making big shots, making threes. Davidson minus 15.5. They beat a terrible Radford team, 74-54 yesterday. Radford just has no options on offense. They just look terrible down the stretch. I don't know if you watched any of this game, but again, Davidson just keeps hitting threes like left and right, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. I think they're one of the best teams in the A-10 division.
Yep, they're going to be tough.
Next game, one of my games, Illinois, St. Francis. Talk about sweaty, dude. This game was one of the sweatiest overs I've hit this year. St. Francis scores 9 points in the first minute and a half and scores 48 the whole game. So this Illinois team, obviously they still have injuries with Cabello still out, but obviously Kofi put up 26 and 13. Frazier still had a great game. They put up 106 points, and that covered by a couple points. Illinois had their most threes in the game yesterday in their college history, which helped a lot. But again, another late cover by Illinois, and they awesome on offense, but the turnovers still happen on Illinois.
Yeah, that's why I normally don't go with overs in games where I think are going to be blowouts, because it's just like you said, most of the time they're covering, just like you said. It's down to the wire. So
I expected this St. Francis team to show a little bit of fight coming into Illinois, and a big game for them to show like maybe what they can do against their conference opponents leading into conference play. But I mean, they started off hot, like I said, 9 points in a minute and a half, and then just like went down the drain real quick. So another game, USF home under streak extends to 8-0 on the year. Florida squeaks by. They played like shit. Florida played bad. Sneaks by USF by 11. This should have been a 20-point blowout by Florida. They let USF back in this game late and almost didn't reach the under.
Well, yeah, you don't know how bad. I mean, this USF team, they're offensively challenged, but their effort on defense is ridiculous. Yep. So that's one of the reasons why these unders keeps covering. So Florida, I don't know if they really play bad or if they just they're running up against a good they play really good team defense. So, but yeah, the under just keeps hitting there. So
yeah, 8-0 in
the streak,
8-0 at home on the under, and they keep riding until it ends. So. Your game, you called this upset straight up. You said San Fran's going to leave Arizona 0-2. Next happens today as well. GCU money line plus 145. You also had the plus 7.5 on the spread.
Yeah, San Francisco was being way overvalued. Most of their games have been played at home, which is a smaller, almost like a high school sized gym. So this is a neutral court game. They're going to where the Suns play, Footprint Center. They shot horrid from three. They're a heavy dependent 3-point shooting team. I think they were 3 of 17 from three. The crowd was just nuts for GCU, which I knew was going to happen. That the Havocs are just ridiculous. So that was pretty much a home game for GCU. GCU struggled in this game too offensively. They were having a hard time shooting the ball. So playing in an arena like that, When both of these teams play in smaller venues, it's just going back and looking at it, maybe the under was the play in that game. But I really like GCU to win that game, and they pulled it out.
Awesome. Baylor -7 turns it on late.
I went to bed.
Turns it on late against Oregon. I told this man Scojo. He said, 14 minutes in this game. I don't know if it was a reverse jinx for you or something, but he texted me 14 minutes left in the game. He said, no, man, the bet's dead. Oregon's not missing shots. I told you. I said, man, a lot of game left, 14 and a half minutes. One of the best teams in the country, playing up a team against a team who really hasn't found an identity yet. Really has been playing up to their competition. So I kept the faith. I know you went to bed maybe a little pissed off how Baylor was playing, but they ended up covering late.
Yeah, well, I mean, Oregon, they showed what I thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year. I mean, Will Richardson was having a great game. The kid from Oklahoma that transferred over, he was having a good game. I mean, they just, they looked really good. They looked like they looked like a ranked team yesterday. But they hadn't looked like that all season long. They've looked horrible. Baylor looked a little, it was a late start, and usually when those teams, playing on the West Coast, playing those late starts, they usually always get off to a slow start. Baylor was down 2 at half, so I didn't have any second half plays yesterday because nothing really fell into the model that I play my second half plays, so I stayed off that. The only second half play I should have played yesterday was Arizona, but I was busy at the time, so I didn't get to jump on that. But yeah, Baylor pulls it out. I woke up and was pleasantly surprised. So
awesome, that's the best.
Yeah. Free throws.
LSU, man.
Yeah.
This one's gonna hurt for a little bit. So LSU -9.5. Played a terrible first half against LA Tech and Kenny Lawson's son, who looks like a good player. LSU comes down second half, leading by 8. They get fouled, shooting 2 free throws on their best players in the line. Makes the first one to make a 9-point game, clanks the second one, and we lose by the hook. So that's all I got in that game. I got nothing else. Auburn. Here we go with the tough ones. Over 146.5 goes down. St. Louis 4 points the last 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. They had 2 free throws again. 14 missed free throws in this game. I had it at 145.5. It lands on 144. And not only that, but St. Louis was in the parlay I gave out yesterday. The 3-team dog. First 2 legs hit. St. Louis is up 12 with 8 to go. They can't hold on. They can't hit free throws late to push it to overtime. So terrible. This just ended up being a disappointing game for me. But that's all right. You win them just like you lose them. So I'm sure I'll win some just like I lost this. So
correct.
Yep.
Another one, tough one. Northern Colorado +13 just didn't show up against Eastern Washington yesterday. I mean, they started off slow and just never really had an identity towards that game.
Yeah, no, they played a really good game at Arizona, and I think they probably just gassed themselves. I mean, they probably said they played a good game at Arizona. They lost by 25, but I mean, they were in that game with about 5 minutes to go, and then Arizona just went on some crazy run at the last 5-6 minutes of that game. But yeah, they were never in this game. They pretty much got blown out early and just never. Washington State, they've been struggling against these kinds of teams at home. Like I said, Eastern Washington, South Dakota State, New Mexico State, they lost all those games straight up as pretty big favorites. So I was riding that streak there. But yeah, Northern Colorado just didn't show up and got smoked.
Yeah, and then obviously this Memphis-Tennessee game gets canceled due to some COVID complications, and you just have to get used to that heading into the December and January months. So overall, we went 6-3-1. Not too bad for our first show, Scojo.
And hit the money line parlay.
And hit the money line parlay. That's correct. And hit the parlay. Yeah. So I mean, if you guys watched yesterday, you guys should have made some type of profit. Let's get right into today's slate as well. So first game for my buddy Scojo. Fairfield at Umass -4.5 spread. Over under sitting at 146.5.
Yeah, both these teams. Pretty good pace teams. I think Umass only plays one way. They're a high pace team. They're going to get a lot of shots up. I actually like Fairfield probably to win this game and win this game outright. But I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Both teams, like I said, like to play with pace. Both are good, 3-point shooting teams. Both teams kind of lack, on the defensive side. So there's a couple games like this today where I think it's just going to be a lot of pace, a lot of points. So I'm on the over in this game.
Yeah. Both teams cover looked into the stats before we went live today. Both teams cover a lot of their games. It's just going to come down to which team plays the best today, obviously. Fairfield, I think, is 7-1 in the year covering against the spread. So they're playing well ahead of this game at Umass. Local game for them. They don't have to travel too far for this game. So it'll be a good game, I think. I think Fairfield pulls it out late. And the over should hit definitely with some free throws late. So I like that play as well. Florida Gulf Coast today takes on Mercer. I think you said you like Mercer in this game a little bit just because of how they're playing, the tough schedule. Gulf Coast, little numbers for you: 6-4 to the over on the year, 4-2 to the over at home, and they are 4-0 to the over when they're favored in a game this year. So I'm going to ride the little streak here at 4-0. And I think I see a lot of points here today. Over it's at 146.5. I see maybe an 80-70 game, 80-75 game by Florida today. I think they put up some points.
Yeah, and Mercer, they were kind of banged up at the beginning of the year, and they played some tough games. I think they had Winthrop, early. They played Arkansas early, so they played a pretty tough schedule, but they've looked good their last 4 games. I think they've covered their last 3, so it looks like they found their offense. So yeah, the over. I'm not on the over in this game, but I could see that hitting definitely.
Yeah, kind of like what I thought would be the Illinois game yesterday. I think both teams just play with a good pace. Both teams are pretty good at shooting the 3. I don't see too many slow possession running plays here. I see just a lot of runouts, and I see points here today. Your next game, Old Dominion takes on Richmond minus 11.5. The spread over under sitting at 132.5.
Yeah, Richmond was one of my favorite teams last year, but last year was a COVID year, and they Nick Sherrod was hurt last year. He's back this year. He's not really making a difference for him this year, but they've got this what's his name, Burton. Trey. He's phenomenal. They're a veteran team, and this Burton kid has just been phenomenal for them, and they're starting to look really good. They had a good outing the last game, and I think they're finding their stride. I actually liked. St. Bonnie laid an egg, as you know, the other day. That just looked horrible. But this is my favorite team in the A10 this year. I think I've got a future on them to win the A10, and I've actually got a future on Richmond to go to the Final Four. It's a big future, but I really like this Richmond team, and I think they're just going to keep rolling. Old Dominion, nothing impressive about them to me. I think Richmond covers this pretty easy 15+ point win here.
Awesome. Yeah, this Richmond team I think is probably one of my favorite teams to watch. Them and Davidson in the A10 are probably my top 2 teams in that conference. So I love both those teams.
I'm not counting out Bonnie. St. Bonaventure veteran team. They're good.
For sure. Yeah.
But I like Richmond in the A10. So
yeah, the thing with Bonnie is, and we can go back to this game for a minute, but Lofton's first game, we couldn't expect much from him. Obviously, it's first game back after the ankle injury, but that team just didn't gel. I don't know if it was because he's in the lineup now, but and if they're just expecting him to take over a game, but they did not just. They didn't know, something was off. They didn't look like they wanted to play that game. They got down quick and just the whole spirit was down. So I think another bounce back game for them coming up. I'd love to see how they play it to bounce back after this brutal loss, but I think obviously St. Bonnie's is in that too. One of my favorite plays of the day today, Coastal takes on Middle Tennessee State, minus 3.5, over under sitting at 138.5. I love this Mid Tennessee State team. I took them last week against Ole Miss, covering the 12. They almost beat Ole Miss down the stretch, missed some late free throws, but they could have won that game. 8-1 against the spread in the year, 3-0 against the spread at home, and 4-0 as a favorite, winning those games by 10+ points in the favorite games. So I'm riding the hot team here. Coastal on the road, at home,
Terrible.
Different story.
Yeah,
at home, different
on the
story.
Road.
At home,
on
the road, they're awful.
Brutal.
It's just the environment they play in at home, which is a cool environment, but on the road they struggle. And traveling to a team that is hot right now, confidence is up, and they cover their games. So I love Middle Tennessee State here today. I got at -3. I bought the half point just because that's what I do for my guys. But -3.5, even -4, I'd still take it. I think they win by 10+ here at home. Next game, we both agree on this one. K-State takes on Nebraska. Right now it's a PK officially, over under at 140.5. We both love K-State here today.
Yeah, this Nebraska team hasn't beaten anybody. They went 4 overtimes against NC State. They lost to Creighton. I mean, every team you look on there that they haven't beat a Power 5 school, I don't think yet. And they've beat a bunch of cupcakes, and they've got what I call the poison pill and Alonzo Verge. Nebraska's got 2 scores, I think McGowan's and Verge, and that's pretty much it. I like this K-State team. They play defense. They are a little bit offensively challenged. But I think that they're going to do enough to shut this Nebraska team down. And I just, Nebraska right now just can't find a way to win. So I'm going to ride K-State here.
Yeah. I obviously good coach in K-State. I think they have this team ready to play on the road today. Nebraska, like you said, not much to really worry about for this team. I mean, I'm not really scared of this team much at home. I think K-State wins by easily 8+ points today. So I think easy win for them. SMU travels to the Pit at New Mexico. Tough place to play, like we've always said with New Mexico. They're getting 4.5. I got 5 here on my line. I think they win today. That's what I think. I think they win today against SMU. Yep. SMU, not a good another team. Great at home, not good on the road this year. I think they covered 2 games in a road all season, including neutral site games. But I do see a lot of points here today. I think you agree with this one.
Yeah, New Mexico's got 2 really good guards, and House, who's a ASU transfer, and Mashburn. So their backcourt, and they play at just a ridiculous pace. And the Pit, like you said, Pit is a really hard place to play. SMU, good ball club. They're going to be in this game. This is going to be a close game. I actually looked at the total here, but it's a little high. But I do think it'll be a close game. I actually think it will go over because both of these teams like to play with pace. But I like New Mexico getting points at home.
Yeah, like we said, the Pit, just another tough place to play, another tough place to travel to, and especially with the guard play in New Mexico. I think they're just going to give SMU the trouble today. Travel day for SMU. New Mexico's comfortable in their own skin at home. Getting points too. They're underdogs at home, which I think plays for them. Plays as another motivational piece for them. I think they roll today. I think they're high on their horse today. I think I like them today a lot. So. Next game, San Fran -2.5 at ASU, buddy. Let's go.
Yeah. Never like to bet on my team because I like to just be a fan. But like I said, San Francisco's leaving Arizona 0-2, and ASU catching 2 at home. I actually like them on the money line here. ASU's identity's kind of changed. I mean, they're becoming a lockdown defensive team. I mean, they went to Oregon and won a game in the low 60s. That actually was an overtime in the low 60s, and then they went to Creighton. You saw what Creighton did to Nova. They held, Creighton to, they beat Creighton 58-57. And this, like I said, the San Francisco team, they've left home. I think they're overvalued. There's going to be no Marcus Bagley again for Arizona State. So I don't think we're going to see him until the flip of the year. But Marion's wrist, that's been banged up all year long. Hopefully that's getting better. DJ Horn, he's been solid for us. And, our front line with Gaffney and Enoch and Jalen Graham, it's just been, I don't think San Francisco is going to be able to handle us inside. We're going to have to defend the 3-point line because San Francisco, like I said, very dependent on the 3. But I think Arizona State's identity is changing. I think they're becoming a lockdown defensive team, which is, strange for a Bobby Hurley team. We've been struggling a lot on offense. I really kind of like the total in this game too, to go under. I think we're going to see another game in the 60s, low 60s. And, San Francisco only scored 48 yesterday. So, I don't know if the fans are going to show up. I think everybody's kind of still, sketchy on this Arizona State team right now. So, but I like Arizona State to win this game and win this game pretty comfortably. I think they're going to win it probably by 6, 7, 8 points.
Awesome. I'd love to hear it. I love the confidence in ASU, man. San Fran, obviously, another team just doesn't cover. We always talk about good teams win, great teams cover their spreads, and this team just doesn't cover spreads at all, especially on the road this year. I think ASU playing for something today, to see what they have in the Pac-12. Obviously, Oregon's picking it up like we just saw. Oregon played a great game against Baylor, and obviously we know that they could be there late in the Pac-12. ASU, man, time to pick it up. I think it's a huge game for them to come out and show the rest of the pack that they're here and they're here for real. I think they could maybe reach the top 4 in the pack. So huge game for ASU, huge game for obviously you as a fan, and You'll be watching, of course, in the stands. But next game, taking a flyer here. Army at LIU. Army getting points here for some reason. I have no idea why. LIU is 2-7 on the year. They've got blown out by everybody they've played, just about. They got blown out by San Francisco. They got blown out by UConn by 60. They got blown out by one other team I saw. I forget the other team. But they've had 3 teams that they've played up to competition, and they've got just blown out. Army loves to put up points today. They're kind of similar to the San Francisco team where they just put up points and run away with the games. So I kind of like Army here with plus money on the money line. I'm taking the points at plus 1.5. Probably buy a half and make it 2, but I think Army wins comfortably here. LIU, like I said, 2-7 on the year. They've played 2 home games. They're 2 wins, one against a D2 school and one against a team who I think is 0-8 in the year. So I like Army here, plus the points and obviously the money line. I see the total going under, just because I don't know how Army's going to play on the road with the points, but I see Army winning comfortably here, plus the money.
Yeah, and everybody's going to have to trust you on this one because I didn't look at this game at all. This was I didn't even look at it. So I usually see an Army or a Navy game, and I just look past it. So yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing for you on this game.
All good. It's good. All good. Next game. You like this game though? Colgate.
Yep. At
Monmouth. Monmouth giving them 3.5, 3, 4, 4.5. It's all over the place in some books today. Over on their shitting at 146.5. I know you like the over here, Scojo.
Yeah, this is my favorite play of the day. I like the total going over here. Both teams, Colgate, a high pace, fast team. Monmouth, I think this is going to be a close game, which, always when you're playing an over, you look for those close games so you can get that foul free throw overtime scenario late if you need it. And Monmouth is just a covering machine right now. I think they're undefeated covering against the spread this year. So they're kind of like the Bryant last year early. Everybody was on, Bryant was covering everything last year early. But I love this Monmouth team. They're veteran. They're all, graduate kids. And I think they've got one senior. So it's just a very veteran team, solid team. Don't make a lot of mistakes. They, everybody can shoot the 3. Colgate's going to come along for the ride here. They can shoot the 3. They like to play at high pace. So I see this game going north of 150 easy. So this is my favorite play of the day. This is going to be my play of the day, the over 146.5.
Awesome. I agree with you on the over. I think the total is way too low for this game. I think both teams like to shoot it. Monmouth, obviously 5 guys in the court can shoot the 3 at any time. Little stat for you. I mean, you just said it. They're undefeated against the spread. 2-0 against the spread at home. Margin of victory sitting at around 11. But I think Colgate pulls in a little closer than that today. And they're also 5-0 against the spread as a favorite. So they've played 5 games as a favorite. This is probably one of their lower spreads they've had so far this year against probably one of their better teams they've played as a favorite in Colgate. But I still like Monmouth to pull it out late, maybe by 5 or 6, with the total still going over, of course. So our pick of the days, pretty simple. Monmouth by 3 and Monmouth over 146.5. Like Scojo just said, he sees points here. I see Monmouth just winning the game. Anything else you want to say about this Monmouth team, Scojo?
No. I mean, like I said, the veteran team, graduate kids. They got a senior in the starting lineup. They can all shoot the 3. They play well together. A very good offensive team. They're not great on the defensive side of the ball, and like I said, Colgate plays with pace. So I think this is going to be a back and forth, up and down game. I do like Monmouth the cover the 3. I've seen it at 4.5, 5. I do like them to cover the 3, but I do think this game will be close. Late, and if we do need the fouls and the free throws, that scenario should be there for us at the end. I don't think we're going to need it. I see both of these teams. 80, 75, 85, 75, somewhere around there. That's where I see this game going.
Yeah, and Monmouth has the potential to just put up points. And I think Monmouth could put up 90 today, and the over still it's 90, 70. I mean, I still think Monmouth wins pretty easily. I just worry about Monmouth's defense. Like they gave up that 10-0 run to Yale late in that game this past week. So defense could be a little trouble for them. Obviously, Cole can put up points as well, but I think Monmouth wins here pretty easily with the over, like we just said. But all right, parlay time.
You got it.
Scojo, let's hear your first parlay of the day.
All right, so when I do these, I always do a favorite money line and a dog money line. So my favorite money line today is going to be a 3-teamer. Yesterday we hit a 5-teamer. Today we're going to go 3. I'm going to take Umass, Rhode Island, and Monmouth, and I got that at plus 198. So you'll get it around that plus 190 to plus 200 number. Yep. But that's going to be my favorite parlay for today. It's going to be a 3-teamer: Umass, awesome. Rhode Island, and Monmouth.
Awesome. All right, let's hear underdog parlay.
All right, so we're going to go with the dog parlay today. I think these 3 teams have a really good chance to win outright, and that's going to be Mercer, New Mexico, and Arizona State. And that's I got that at plus 1263. So I'm sure you'll get it around that, plus 1200 to, plus 12.
That's a lot, actually.
Yeah, 6. Yeah. So Mercer, New Mexico, and Arizona State. That's going to be my dog parlay of the day.
Awesome. All right. I got one. I didn't put one out yesterday. Just didn't think of it. Not really a huge parlay guy, as we both aren't. But I have one, and it's actually gone up in value since I placed it, so I'm a little pissed off. Rhode Island against Charleston. We both have Rhode Island winning. I have Texas in the money line. Monmouth, of course, and I have Richmond winning today as well. That's up to plus 180 in the money line. Parlay. I think that's great value for all 4 of those teams to win. I think they both win pretty easily, like we just said. But yeah, plus 480, Rhode Island, Texas, Monmouth, and Richmond. We've talked about 3 of these games today on the 2 of these games in the show, and I think Texas and Rhode Island win pretty easily today. Rhode Island at home against Charleston. So plus 180 in the money line. It'd probably go up before tips. If you want to wait a little bit, it's gone up from 160 to 180 in about 10 minutes. So, so those lines probably get juiced a little more. So we'll recap pick of the days in both the one Monmouth game. I have Monmouth -3. Scojo has the over. I think they both cover pretty easily. Let's look for another 6-3. Let's look for a 10-0 sweep today, Scojo.
That would be nice.
Let's look for a 13-0 sweep with the 3 parlays. And we'll be back next weekend, Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, for another full slate of college basketball.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Twitter at Sun_Devil_Scott. That's all my college basketball stuff. And if for those of you that want to follow my volume style, I post every bet on Action App. Scojo Picks is where you can find me on the Action App. All my bets are placed there.
Awesome. Obviously, NFL today, college basketball. If you guys are watching and you guys want my NFL card as well today, please hit me up on Twitter, Instagram. Tell me you're from the show, and I'll give you my free NFL card today. Plenty of NFL action, of course, but we love some college basketball. So, Scojo, I'll see you next Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Another full slate of college basketball like we love every Saturday. And I'll catch you next week.
Go Devils.